طبعا ليس كل شخص متعلم بيملك المهارات اللازمة لنقل المعرفة، خاصة أنه المدارس بتتطلب التعاطف والتراحم والقبول بالإضافة إلى الشمولية لكل الخلفيات والقدرات. هيدي أبرز المحاور يلي دار حول اللقاء يلي أجرته زميلتنا هالة بو علوان بفقرة موطن، الحلم، والإنجاز مع كيفن لافت مدير المدرسة العالمية الأمريكية.
طبعا اللقاء تطرق كذلك إلى أهمية أن تكون المدارس بيئة آمنة للتعبير والتواصل الصحي والآليات المناسبة التي تمكن الطلاب من حماية أنفسهم من التنمر والتقليل طبعا من حدوده. المزيد في لقاء هالة بو علوان. نتابع.
بيسعدنا أنه يكون معنا اليوم السيد كيفن لافت مدير المدرسة العالمية الأمريكية التابعة لمجموعة الفطيم. Good morning, Kevin. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Kevin, before we dig deeper into the educational element, future generation, I'm curious to know about Al-Futtaim Education Foundation and UAS being part of this foundation. What does this mean?
Yeah, so the Al-Futtaim Education Foundation is a group within the Al-Futtaim Group that looks after the education portfolio. So we have Universal American School and Dare International School, our sister school down the road. So the Al-Futtaim Education Foundation supports the school. There's different programs that we run, like we have a Centre of Excellence for Arabic that runs across both schools. We have scholarship programs, all sorts of different things that they do to interact with us, but also to help manage and govern the schools as well as to how we move the schools forward and how we fit into the wider Al-Futtaim group.
Kevin, when we define sustainability, it's building the right platform now for future generation. And I think efficient sustainability means efficient schools. What do you do in terms of policies, processes in the school to empower kids to discover their talents and passions, which is the core thing before they move to next stage?
Yeah, I think fundamentally for me, it's giving kids options, giving kids opportunities, opening their eyes to the broader opportunities that are in their life, really. And so from a curriculum perspective, we have different pathways available for the kids. So our curriculum is quite unique at Universal American School. So we are an American curriculum school. We use New York State standards from kindergarten right through to grade 12. But alongside that, in our elementary, we overlay the IB, the International Baccalaureate Primary Years Program, the PYP program, which gives us an inquiry model, the way that we teach those kids that New York State's curriculum. And then as we go through at the top end of the school, we have the diploma program with the IB. So alongside the diploma program, we have the Advanced Placement AP program, which is an American pathway, which gives us an international pathway and an American pathway. And so the way we like to talk about that with our kids and the families is rather than having only one option and you have to do that option, it's giving us multiple options so that we can talk to the families, learn about the kids, learn about where they want to go, what universities, what countries, but also what they're good at, and then build a pathway around them rather than them having to fit to the pathway. And then alongside all of those things, we have additional programs that we run for the kids, whether that's after-school programs or gifted and talented programs where we give extensions and opportunities for kids to try different things. So it's a combination of lots of different things that come together to build those opportunities for our students.
And does this enable them to find the right career? How do you bridge the gap? Because I think they find their passions and talents in order to do something they like eventually. Do you help them with this process to connect the dots?
Yeah, I mean, I think we really hope that that's exactly what they get, that they get that something that they're passionate about and something that they want to do. And I think where I've seen families change in my career is I want them to be a doctor, I want them to be an engineer, I want them to be certain things, to actually, what does my child want? And there's a lot more onus on the students now as to what you want and what you want to do. And so we have a team of people within the school, so we have a careers guidance counsellor that works with the students and the families, particularly in high school, to help guide them and help look at how that student's doing and actually personalise that conversation around them to make sure that we're giving them those opportunities, the best opportunities that we can to get where they want to get to.
Yeah. Actually, to be able to do that, I think every school should have the right staff on the ground. And I think it's very challenging, it's very tough to select the right staff because not everyone who's highly educated can pass the knowledge or transfer the knowledge. And sometimes some people are not meant to be teachers, although they have all the knowledge in the world. How do you select, how do you balance all these elements to make sure the kids are in front of people who really, are the guardians to their future knowledge?
I think fundamentally for me, I believe good people make good schools.
Yes.
And good teams make good schools. And so when we're looking at who we're recruiting, we want that talent, we want that capability, but more importantly, we want people that are going to enhance and build our teams and make our school a better place to be. And so Universal American School is very focused on relationships and being part of a community. It's kind of, if you ask anyone in our community what's the central aspect of Universal American School, everyone says community, and that's really important to us.
Yeah, as a parent, I say the same.
Yeah, and it's really important, and it underpins everything that we do in the school. And so when we're looking for new teachers, that's really important to us as well, that are you going to be part of our community, or are you better suited to another school down the road? We look for the people that are going to work in our team and enhance our school, and then we want the best teachers that we can get as well, as alongside those two things. So it's a balance of those two things to help us build our school forward.
And Kevin, you mentioned communities. I think safe and harmonious community requires open and transparent communication. Like as part of the community, I should speak up. I should not be afraid to speak my heart. Students should do the same. And to talk about anything, even if there's things which are not usually typical for students to express, but everyone should express everything. Do you have these channels from students?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really liked about the school when I started here was the confidence of the students. They're not afraid to walk up to the director's door and knock on the door and tell me what they think. And I think it's really important that we're not, that we're not too fragile in what we want. We want kids to do that. We want them to know to challenge us as well, and to really think about what we're doing. And so I think that confidence in our students really helps us. We introduced a couple of years ago homerooms K to 12, so that every student has a place in the morning that they go to, a teacher that they go to every morning that they have a really key relationship with. And if, say they've got, playgrounds out here beside us, if there's something in a playground that they're concerned about, a friend or someone said something, our kids do come and they'll tell our teachers, they'll tell our staff, so that we are able to act on those things. So I think that confidence, A, to have the conversation, and B, that someone's going to follow that conversation up, are essential to give the kids those opportunities to say what they need to say.
Yeah, of course, that's comforting. What about bullying? Do you do anything to fight bullying, to be proactive, to make kids aware how to deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's sadly it's part of growing up, but it's something that we've got to learn how to manage and how to not make it even worse, I guess. We do a lot of work in homerooms talking about these different things. We have the opportunity for students to talk and do PowerPoints to other students about how they've dealt with different things. Certainly we have the National Honours Society, student government that are really strong in the school, and they take a real lead in passing that information on to the younger kids in the school. So I think sometimes it's about, as a school we'll have all sorts of different things we talk about in curriculum and moral, social, cultural, all those things come into our curriculum. But I think the most powerful thing is hearing it sometimes from a student that's 1 or 2 years older than you, that's actually been through that process. So using our senior students to come back and talk to the rest of the school is a really powerful tool that we're able to use.
Of course, it's real, it's authentic. It comes from human experience. Bullying can be cyberbullying as well. And I think social media is putting our kids in situations where we really don't know what they are. Sometimes we don't know what they are exposed to, and we cannot control everything. We need to trust, we need to enable, empower our kids. What does the school do in order to encourage social media, detox, or other things to safeguard themselves?
Social media, technology, they're all tools. And I think making sure kids understand, or students understand, that they're tools that we can use. So if you look at the advancements of AI in the last couple of years, it's a fantastic tool. It's a fantastic thing for our students to have and for our staff to have to use in a school. But they have to understand that it's a tool. It's not a life. It's not something all-encompassing. And so we work a lot with our students and with our parents to understand how we can use those things and use them appropriately, and when's the right time, when's the wrong time. And again, actually, we used our students at the beginning of the year. We had a coffee morning where the students prepared one of those PowerPoints that I spoke about, where they did it in homerooms, but they actually delivered it to parents. And it was really useful for parents to hear 16, 17-year-old students talk about how they see social media and how they use technology. But also, I think to be able to ask a 16-year-old student a question, I think they were probably more honest with the parents than they might be with their own parent in those situations. So it was an opportunity for both groups to really talk to each other about how they see social media. So there's lots of different things we do just to make sure there's that balance between life and social media, I think.
And I think it's a continuous balance between home and school to work together
100%.
for this. Kevin Loft, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.